Welcome to another episode of Redesigning Your Relationships podcast. I'm your host, Geovanna Burgess White, with my co-host.
Hello, I am Yvette Valdenegro.
And happy Thanksgiving week for those of you guys who are watching us live. Welcome. If you're listening to the replay, welcome too. We hope you're having an amazing week off, spending time with friends, family, yourself, however it is that you celebrate this week. And if you've been watching and listening, this month has just been November lineup of amazing clients, November lineup of guests that we're chatting with. And today we are going to bring on one of our clients, Susan Loggins. We're so excited for her to share her story. I've known her for over 10 years, and I just think it's crazy how the universe has sent me all these amazing, beautiful women. But I met her in a different chapter in her life, and I've loved to watch her grow and just flourish and talk about future dreams coming to life. Like we're in it. So I'm gonna let her talk about it. So before I tell the story, let's bring Susan on. Hi, welcome.
How are you?
Hello.
How are you, ladies? Good today.
Great. Yes, and this is very exciting, Susan. I know I always sing your praises, but I'm speaking of the week of thankful. I am so thankful that you get to come on and share your journey, because you're just an incredible woman. But what I love about you too is you're so relatable and loving and caring. And I think what you're about to share just will spawn hearts to dream again and to know like there's something cooking inside of us. And that's what I love about you. You've taken that and you've run with it. So this is timely and wonderful.
Thank you for that. Yes, I through you girls and all your coaching that I've done for the previous year, that's what has opened me up. You know, we've talked about that in all our different series that we've done. And that was one thing I shared with you guys way back in the beginning, that I had stopped dreaming, right? Because you have so many other things that were more important, your children, your work life, your husband, or whatever, you know, you put those things first. A lot of women do, which I'll be a lot of women. And then they leave and you're like, oh, and you just don't feel fulfilled. Like, you know, there's something that you're searching for. You just haven't found it yet, you know? And, like I said, through you girls and your coaching, dreaming has definitely been huge for me, and learning to journal and write it and listening to other people's stories and just, you know, their sayings or their word for the year really opens you up so much. Yeah.
I love that you say that, because, you know, I actually was, I had a privilege of meeting up with some friends yesterday, and we were talking about this very same thing. It's so common for all of us, especially, like I said, you have a big heart. So your heart has been devoted to your children. There's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely. I mean, it's a beautiful thing that we live in a world and a society where we have the privilege to be moms and to, you know, take care of our kids. But like you said, the thought of dreaming again. But I love what you said, the year. That may sound like for some people a whole year, you know what I mean? But it's like, first of all, a year goes by very quickly. There's a lot that happened in that year. So it's not like you're just saying, oh, well, guys, just a year. No, you have put in the work. You have devoted yourself to dreaming again, and just the opportunities of like the what ifs, and let's just do this, right? So I love that, because sometimes I think we want instant gratification. Like, oh, if I just make this decision to do something, it's just going to happen like next week. No. That's not how it usually happens for most of us. Like, you have to start from day one.
Yeah.
So,
So that's part of it too, because, you know, yes, you start dreaming, but you don't really know, like, I didn't know what that was going to lead to. And as we dream and we add on to our statement, then it just starts developing. You know, it's just like like we talked about, I guess it was at our recent party, you know, you choose your word. No, it was the week before when we talked about gratitude and we had words, right? And you just keep adding to it. And that's kind of where mine came in. It's just like retreat, you know, that was one morning when I was sitting there and I was dreaming and journaling and praying and just spending my time. And I was like, what am I going to do? And the retreat just popped in, because I don't know if people have read my story, but the retreat is part of the reason why I'm able to do this is from my inheritance from my mother's passing. And she always loved women and loved to see, especially younger women, start their lives and help them develop it. And I watched this my whole life growing up, so I learned a lot from her in that aspect. But through that, the word retreat came to me, and not once, but twice. So I thought, oh, okay, well, I guess that's what you mean, right? And I feel very blessed, and I feel very fortunate to be able to help others, even if it's just a venue for them to come and bring their team, their family, even, like if they need some growth in that area. I'm just so excited. I don't know. I don't have it all, like, the whole final picture. We're working on that, right? But it's super exciting. And like you always say, it's going to change. So one idea may lead to another idea. And it's just been great, what I've been able to do, and just getting it out there. I've had so many people already responding, and asking me, what are you going to do? And I'm like, well, we're working on it. Just stay tuned. That's the fun part, and what I like about that is it keeps me excited.
Yeah, you're in creation mode. For those of you guys who don't know, so Susan has been a client of ours. Like she said, it's been a year that she's really been working on this dream to come true. And I think you said it perfectly. Like, you took the time for you. And I think that's really hard for women to even like receive right now. They're like, oh my God, it takes time to even take time for yourself. And you've done a great job, but it's with that time that you were able to really put together what you wanted to do. And you've been in the health and wellness industry for a really long time. And I think that is part of the growth and the journey of what you really wanted to do. And yes, like, you have clients, you sell products, but this is like an extension now. Like, it's the bigger picture of what you really get to do and how you get to change lives. So, I know you kind of told a little bit, but tell everybody about S.I.T.S Haven. Like, it's coming soon, coming 2024, spring of 2024. But, and then also the name, because I think it's super important. Like, all of this has been because you've been able to spend the time. And, Susan didn't wake up last year and go, hey, I'm going to open up a retreat center. I'm going to name it this. It's going to be open spring of 2024. It doesn't happen that way. So I want you to kind of tell the story around like the name, where you are right now, really, with Haven, and the plans going forward. And like you said, it's still growing and we're still creating, but you already kind of have the foundations and like what you really want that place to be for others.
Right. Yes. And so it goes back, like we first started talking about dreaming, and then finding that purpose of that dream, and then receiving the word. And then prior to that, I had my inheritance come through, and that's why we were able to purchase the property. And then when we were working together to decide what the name was going to be, I knew that I wanted it. The inheritance came from my mother. So I knew I wanted it to be something about her. Right. And so, Gio, you had asked me, like, well, what's her name? And I told you her name. She goes, well, I want you to go look that up. And so therefore I went and I looked up Selena, and it means star in the sky. So therefore that's S.I.T.S Haven. It's the acronym for that. And my daughters actually helped me with that name. I put it out there to them. I put highlighted all the meaning of Selena, and my oldest daughter actually came up with the name. And I love that too, because there we are, together, honoring my mother, and bonding together, and they feel a part of it also. So that came about, and then that was the name. And then we get in there and we're in the midst of the demolition, and that was really kind of fun, because I'm like taking the big sledgehammer and knocking the wall out. So if you ever have any frustrations, that's really awesome to be able to do stuff like that. And I'm very blessed with a husband and a brother-in-law who are very talented. They are able to do a lot of the work. And then my brother-in-law is very good with design and layout and all of that too. So it's been a family project, pretty much from the get-go, which I kind of knew that would happen because the boys always, that's what we call them. The boys are twins, and they always do so many things together, work-wise and developing, different projects and all. But yeah, and it has the most beautiful trees all over the whole place. And these 3 out in the front, and I always forget what they're called. Sycamore trees. Yes, sycamore trees. And they're so beautiful in the way their leaves just flow. And I just envision so many people just finding peace out there, sitting in different areas of the property and just taking me time, sit there and journaling and thinking and working through all their feelings and all. So I think that's been the biggest part of the journey, is working through all your feelings, because Yvette and I had a very serious conversation together over inheritance and all of these kinds of things, and just being able to work together with your family and all. So it's been a true blessing. You girls have been a true blessing to me and helped me through so many different feelings that I had to get through in order to get to this and be able to name it and honor it and put it out there for everybody else to be able to enjoy it.
Oh, so beautiful. We're so excited. Like, I think this is the first time that you've actually spoke it, because I know we were talking, we have so many, mutual friends and clients are like, what? Susan's opening up a retreat? What's happening?
Yes, I know.
It's like, okay, we got to start telling people, we're in the phase of, it's still being, it's under construction. You're able, again, this is part of the creation process, and you're really able to put each room together. It's so special what you're doing, because A, you could have done anything what you wanted with that inheritance, and B, it is a family project and your daughters are included in this. So it's it's generational. And I mean, I can already see just the love that's being poured into it. But it could have just been an awesome Airbnb, but your vision was just about it being a retreat center for anybody who wants to, like you said, take their teams. Maybe it's just a day, maybe it's getting out of the office. If it's a weekend retreat, it can health, it can be wellness, it can be just getting the girls out to go do something for themselves. Anything that you need, I think that this is going to serve for. And I'm so, we're so excited just to be part of the journey with you and being able to co-create this with you. But what other questions do we have? I want her to really.
I'm floored by the name. By the way, I was when you first told me. I was just like, it's like the umbrella. I just imagine it's like an umbrella with all these stars, and the way it's just such a beautiful story. And then just even the word haven. I mean, of course, Gio and I have a complete bias to that name, but haven, being a place of refuge and safety.
Yes.
Everything you just described, I could feel like when you were saying, I just have this vision of people being under those trees and journaling and their me time. You're a beautiful person. Your family is amazing, but this place is going to be a sanctuary for people to have that. Safety doesn't mean like there's something harmful happening and there you got to go away. It's more at peace. Like someone can go there and be at peace with themselves, with the group that they're with, and then just the incredible things are going to happen within the dwelling and on the property. So
Yes. Well, in haven too, that means, like you said, at peace, at rest. And I feel like that honors Mom also, because she had Alzheimer's. And so when she was able to go, I think she went to heaven, I feel like, oh, she's whole again. She's happy and she's looking down on us and she's like, you go, girl, you do it. Yes. This makes me happy. Yeah. And also generational, like you were saying, generational. My mother's father was able to gift his children these properties, and that was part of her inheritance. And she was one of 12, and she was one of 3 that actually held on to their properties. Like she never built on it. She, of course, didn't sell it or any of that. So I think she knew in her mind that this is what I want to give to my children. My dad gifted it to me. I want to gift it to my children. And some of us, really, like I have 2 older and 1 younger brother, and it really changed their lives. And we're all about that, changing people's lives. And so paying it forward and all. So that was something we were brought up, thinking throughout our lives. And also I'm very blessed. I'm very honored to be able to help people, find their purpose. Right. I think it'll be so much fun. I can't wait.
And
I tell my husband, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Are you sure it's going to be spring?"
Okay, it doesn't matter. Spring, summer. Hey, you just keep on following. This is real. Like, and I told you, I was like, we got to start doing this now because people need to see the work.
Oh yeah.
There's blood, sweat, tears, not just on the retreat side of it, but just your transformation. And then again, this is just the beginning because we're in the creation stage. There's so many things to follow, but I love that you're telling your story because there's women out there. It's two-sided. There's women out there that are like, oh my God, I can't wait till it's done. Like, I want to be there. I want to do something there, especially because it's like right outside of Houston. So it's not even that far. And then there's on the other side, women like, I want to do something like this, or just, I want to just dream. I want to be able to take, now they understand that it takes, some people it's a year, some people it's 2 years, some people it's like, it takes time to really start having a relationship with yourself and being in those moments and understanding that this is the way of life. Because if you don't do that for yourself, how are you teaching this to others? So I think, your story does matter. It's huge. There's so much in it, but I want people to see it because it's like the transformation of the before and after. And if it doesn't get here spring, it gets here summer, it gets here fall. It'll be here in 2024. It's here when it's here. And, we already started, your website, your Instagram. So all that's there. So make sure you're following S.I.T.S Haven. And as things, come up, we'll be posting behind the scenes. We'll be posting all the new stuff. There will be an open house next year, but I wanted people to get to know you better because again, when I met you over 10 years ago, we were in at the gym, like, right. We were working out, we're still working on ourselves. And, and then a year ago, it was still like, you weren't sure what it was supposed to be. And now it's like, what it is, even though it's not here yet. It's like having a baby. And then we're going to grow the baby and we're going to make it, big. And we're going to, like you said, you've always wanted to change women's lives and you have the opportunity to do it. And we're excited to be part of the movement with you. You know how important it is for us to change what's to come, and you're part of that. So we're so thankful that you've allowed us to be part of this journey, that you've allowed us to coach you through the good and the bad, because it's all part of the growth.
Oh yeah.
And that you're here sharing the story because it's important. There's not only in your close friends and family, but for people who don't know you, who don't know us, who are going to watch this, who are going to see this and going to be like, I can do that too. Like, anybody can do this. It's not just, the people that we work with. So I really wanted people to know that. So we're so thankful that you're on.
You definitely can do it. You just, like we said, you have to put the time in, and it can take so long, and it builds, it changes. You see different ways of looking at things. It's all, I think one of the biggest things too is, as you age, sometimes your patience kind of goes out the door a little bit, but I have to say, I think mine has grown, and because you just start keeping your mouth closed and you start listening more, and then you're able to hear what the person's actually saying. Right. So that part has been real. That part has helped in my life with my husband, because I'm like, I kind of am a girl who's like, well, I want it like this. I wonder who can relate to that. I want it like this, and I want it tomorrow, or right now. So that patience, you just really have to, when you're building something like this, you really have to practice that and wait the time, because then it's going to flourish and it's going to be something that you can never imagine. And that's what I'm looking forward to, just to see the end results and things that I just never thought would be possible in my life, So that's
Yeah,
the best part to me.
you described in our lingo, you were in the moment of being her, and you're in the receiving stages now.
Yeah.
You're allowing yourself to be who you're supposed to be in order to receive, and we absolutely love that, and we just can't wait. We're excited with you. We're here to help you with all of this, and we're thankful that you were on to talk about this, not just for yourself, but to everybody else out there that's watching and listening.
Okay, I have some words that I wrote down real quick as you were
Okay.
sharing. There's been a transformation, completely transformation with dreams, starting with your mom. When you said that, I'm like, I bet you she really did. So that's a legacy, transformation, a legacy, transformation of wealth, your family, you personally, and then your most intimate relationship.
Yeah.
All based on you dreaming again
Mhm.
and saying, what do I want to do? And
Mhm.
all those things just came together.
Yeah. And the beauty too in the intimate relationship, that I've been honored in that, been respected and honored with what I've been dreaming. That is huge.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This is why when we have clients who want to know, like, what's the end result, how long is it going to take? If we would have told you a year ago, Susan, a year from now you're going to be on a podcast talking to the whole world about opening up a retreat center, and this is what it's going to be like, and this is how long it's going to take, and this is all the work you're going to have to do.
Yeah.
Most likely you would have been like, I'm out, right?
Yeah.
Or there's no way I can do that. So this is it, you guys. Like, when we bring our clients on, it's not that when we love showcasing our clients, but it's the transformations. And just like you heard Heidi a couple of weeks ago, this is just the beginning. She's part of the movement with her company, with a women-led company of over 20 years. You're the movement with not just what health, wealth, and helping other people, but just within your family. And like Yvette said, creating this legacy that sometimes we forget. Like, again, like, this is what we're put on earth for. It's not just to be a copy and paste day in, day out. So we're again, this is the why. This is the why for us, why we do what we do. And again, we're so excited just to be part of the journey with you. So we're thankful that you're on.
Thank you so much for having me, ladies.
Of course. We're going to close out the show. We'll put you backstage. And again, if you're listening or watching, please go to S.I.T.S Haven. Anywhere you're watching or listening, you can click the link. You can follow on Instagram. You can go to the website for all the upcoming transformations and just things to come in 2024. Thanks for being on, Susan.
Thanks, guys. Happy Thanksgiving.
Me too. Oh, I love this month. We're so excited. So we're wrapping up the month. We have one more guest next week, so we're excited to have her on. Make sure you join us. We're on every single Wednesday live at noon. And if you don't want to watch us and you want to listen, our podcast drops every Friday on all podcast platforms. December is our last month of this season. Season 3 is closing out. We'll be back in 2024 with a whole new vibe. Whole new vibe, whole new energy. We're super excited to have you. If you listen to the story and you're like, oh my God, I need to do something with my life, don't worry. We got you. Say, there's a link anywhere you're listening or watching. Click it. We give you a beautiful 45 minutes to really just download, think about you, talk about you, and how we can help you start dreaming again, living a life with purpose, anything, any relationship in your life that you need help in, especially you. So we hope that this week of Thanksgiving, you're giving back to yourself. It's not just about everybody else. And we're thankful for you.
And grateful. Be grateful. Have a heart full of gratitude. And it doesn't matter if you don't even celebrate Thanksgiving, you still have so much to be grateful for. So walk in a days of gratefulness.
In the midst of thankfulness and gratitude towards yourself. And I know that's like super hard, but again, if you're here, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, and we'll be back on next week.